All right, guys. So I'll wrap this segment up, meaning like this is the last video I'm going to do on Friday afternoon. And then tonight, we're going to talk some like big picture. We're going to talk some big picture things about, the University of Texas and where Oregon is going as a football program. Those are two very interesting football teams. But right now, we're also going to do some recruiting stuff, which we haven't done in a while. There's some big-time recruits and commits that SEC guys that we're going to view tonight when I have more time, get home tonight. But we're going to talk now about Nebraska because they are playing Purdue tomorrow in West Lafayette. It's a night game, which I'm really excited about. It'll be a great environment there. And it's a very exciting game for Nebraska because Bill Busch and this defense, really in the second half of games, they've shut down Connor Bazelak, who is a very good quarterback, who has a strong arm, who's a pocket passer, but he's a good quarterback. And you saw against Western Kentucky, you saw last year at Missouri how good Connor Bazelak could be. So their defense was able to shut that down. And then, of course, against Rutgers, they were able to get the offensive coordinator fired because they straight up dominated Rutgers' offense. And Rutgers doesn't have a lot of offense. They're not very good at all. Indiana is flawed as well. They play like on a Conference USA level. I know Western Kentucky lost to them, but still, I guess it's Indiana and Rutgers, right? But now you play a legit contender in the Big Ten West. You go to a team with maybe, if I had to rank the quarterbacks in the Big Ten, it'd be C.J. Stroud. And then I'd probably put Aiden O'Connell maybe second on that list. I would. I think McCarthy is a good quarterback, but he's very young. Then you look at Sean Clifford maybe. I still think O'Connell is better. I think that what O'Connell does there with minimal running game in Jeff Brom's system, he is a legit quarterback, and he's like 25. And he was a walk-on, okay? And he's a good quarterback. They also have a transfer wide receiver that is really helping Purdue out. Purdue lost to Syracuse, all right? But Purdue is a team that they beat Minnesota. They just went on the road and beat Maryland. So this is a really good team. And Bill Busch even talked about how Jeff Brom in that offense is the best offense that they're just about going to see. All right, so Purdue was able to beat Minnesota at Minnesota. That's a really impressive win. Minnesota's like a good top 20 football team with a chance to really compete. I think Minnesota's also better than the Huskers at this moment. So if Nebraska's defense, if their secondary, which Tommy Hill was supposed to be a cornerback, he's not even playing. If Nebraska is able to keep Aiden O'Connell in this electric passing game in check, I will be very, very impressed. If Nebraska, for any reason, is in striking distance late in the fourth quarter, Mickey Joseph has done a phenomenal job of getting the guys ready to play at Purdue. If they win this game at Purdue, Mickey Joseph's odds to be the head coach, he would be increasingly closer to clinching that role. Even if Lance Leipold then is available, you have to say the improvement that Mickey Joseph has made from moving on from Chenander, getting Busch, as the defensive coordinator, and helping out Mark Whipple and elevating this team, moving Tommy Hill to wide receiver, making those tough decisions, the trajectory of Nebraska football would just be at another level. Mickey Joseph then would have this program rocking and rolling. If they beat Purdue is probably up there with Minnesota as the best that the West is going to provide. And if they end up winning this game, wow. But what realistically is going to probably happen is that Purdue, unfortunately, might blow them out. They might blow them out by about 20. Now, that doesn't eliminate Mickey Joseph from contention, but Nebraska's defense has not played the powers of a Purdue offense. I think it's actually the best offense they're going to play. I mean, Dylan Gabriel in Oklahoma, you've seen them, the last couple of weeks. They haven't been very good. They haven't protected the passer. What do you get? You get Georgia Southern. Yeah, Georgia Southern and Van Treese. You saw how they lit them up. Georgia Southern is probably the second best offense Nebraska has seen all year. Purdue and Aiden O'Connell, this football team is just dangerous. And they're getting hot at the right time. And listen, they're playing, I'll tell you the guys that, I think it's Charlie Johnson, but I don't even know if Charlie Johnson is available. But last week they had a guy named Payne Durham. All right, they had a receiver, Payne Durham, and so they have little receivers that are really, really fast. It says Durham is a big wide receiver. So I've watched a little bit of Purdue football. I think that their tight end play has always been very good at Purdue. I just think that Jeff Brom and this Purdue team is salivating at playing Nebraska. And also the offensive line, Purdue's defensive line is going to get in the face of Casey. I don't think it's going to go very well tomorrow. And I'm a big Mickey Joseph fan, and I love the Huskers. I'd like to see nothing more than Nebraska and Mickey come out there and really show a game and really have a wonderful back and forth with Garrett Nelson. I want these kids to win. But I have immense amount of respect for Purdue and Jeff Brom. And I think that I think it could be really ugly in West Lafayette. I think that this game could get away from Nebraska, where then you're going to take a step back and Mickey and the guys are going to have to regroup before playing Illinois. Adversity's going to strike. Let's see how great Bill Busch can be in terms of defending against the pass. And listen, if you're going in this game, honestly, with Nebraska, the way that I would play Purdue, I would play like 3 down linemen, have everybody over the top, and just give Aiden O'Connell those 5-yard completions. I'd play a ton of zone because you want to see the clock move, and you don't want Purdue hitting explosive plays on you because you know your offense against this defensive line is going to be limited. And then, of course, the key is Trey Palmer. Trey Palmer in this game for Nebraska has got to have like 4 catches, 150 yards, and maybe 2 touchdowns. He's going to have to go off and have one of his best games of his career. All right. You're also going to have other receivers help you out. Casey Thompson in this game is going to have to throw for over 280 yards in this game if Nebraska is going to have a chance. He's actually probably going to have to throw for over 300 yards. All right, because in the second half, it's going to be a freaking track meet in the second half. But first half, Nebraska's just got to stay in this game. All right, they just got to stay tight. They can't give up explosives to Purdue. They got to play their cleanest and best football game of the season. All right, so I think Purdue's offense is going to have success. I see Purdue's offense scoring like at least 31 to 35 points. It's just in terms of, can Nebraska's offensive line protect Casey Thompson, and can they hit those big throws? If Nebraska's offense goes 3 and out, then it's going to be a long day. If I had to predict this game, I'm going to pick Purdue 37, and I'm going to pick Nebraska 23. So it's going to be right around that 14-point spread. I think it's pretty high-scoring game, and so I would like to pick that. All right, guys, here we go. That's my prediction for the game. Let's see how it all pans out. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about in the world of college